abundantly, far above all I could ask or think. Believe, yes, I believe. You say, I believe that you are able to do exceedingly abundantly, far above all I could ask or think.
I am so excited because the Step Out TV shows are back live on T2I TV. And for those who don't know, Step Out is a series of interviews and motivational segments designed to bring the best out of you and your business. Therefore, we have the following TV programs. Our first TV program, which is our flagship program, dubbed Step Out with Oscar Bimpong, is designed to interview consultants, experts, talented people, and those doing exceptionally well in their communities. The second one is Step Out SME Focus. This is where we interview business owners and showcase their products and services. The third one is Step Out Youth Impact Zone. This is where we interview young people succeeding against all odds to serve as an inspiration to other young people. And the last one is Step Out Authors Corner. And this is where we interview authors to share what their book is about to the world. Join us every week at 7 p.m. GMT. Like T2I TV on Facebook and subscribe to the YouTube channel. To advertise or for further information, do WhatsApp +44 759 1152 983 or +233 55 580 3924 or email info@traintoinspire.com. T2I TV. We engage, educate, enlighten, and empower.
Welcome to another exciting of Step Out Youth Impact Zone, and this is always your regular host, Oscar Bimpong, always in the driving seat, taking you to your destination of success. And tonight we have got one powerful lady that is going to share something that is going to inspire all young people. For those that don't know, the Step Out Youth Impact Zone is designed to interview young people across the globe with strategic focus on the African continent. That is young people from the African continent and those in diaspora. The idea is that we want them to share their story to inspire other young people on the continent. This is a continent that is full of struggles, it's full of challenges. Young people don't have jobs, and there is so much that is happening. And the point is that there are some young people who, against all odds, are really moving up on the ladder to really change the status quo. And these are the young people we want them to share their story to inspire other young people. So tonight is not an exception. But before I go to her, let me really go into some sponsors of this program. Now, Train to Inspire TV UK, T2I TV UK is powered by Train to Inspire Consultancy. Train to Inspire Consultancy is your business training and consulting firm, and it's for all your business training in terms of leadership management, customer service, sales and marketing, finance, you can name them. Now, we work with different consultants that provide training in their expert area to every organization. So we are not like a one-man business. We work with different consultants so that they can provide for you in areas that you need support. Also, in terms of business growth and helping you to strategically position yourself in the marketplace, we all work with you in terms of business consultancy. Now, ALS Global Shipping and Logistics, that is your trusted import and export company based in Accra. ALS says if you are stranded at the port, call us and we will come and sort you out. That is if you are into import and export and you need an agent that is more reliable, speak to ALS Global Shipping and Logistics. Also, ZPay Ghana Limited. It is your remittance and mobile money company based in Ghana. They just launched their ZPay mobile money USSD code, and that is *270#. And that is when you dial it just on your phone and register for ZPay mobile money just on your phone. You don't need an agent to register for ZPay mobile money. Then the last one is Wheels for Sure. Wheels for Sure is your car leasing for every credit. If you are based in the UK and you are being deprived of the car of your choice just because of your credit score, you need to speak to Wheels for Sure. Now, when you speak to Wheels for Sure, tell them that you got the number from T2I TV UK and quote T2I 2020. Now, if you want to get any of the contact details of our sponsors, they are scrolling on the screen on the tax bar. Just take it and call them. Now, when you call them and you say you got the number from T2I TV UK, you are more likely to get a very good deal. Also, if you want to sponsor any of our shows, you are more welcome to do so. Just take the number for Train to Inspire Consultancy or T2I TV UK and contact us, and we are going to give you a very good deal. I always say that if you cannot go to mainstream media, then what you need is to come to T2I TV UK, and we are going to grow with you as a business, especially as a small business or as an SME. Now, let me go straight to business. And who do I have on the hot seat tonight? I've been having conversations with her, and she's a medical student at King's College, London, former president University Africa Caribbean Medical Society, and also she was invited to Downing Street to give an insight into how representation and cultural competence can be improved within the medical field to reduce ethnic health inequalities. Who is this person I'm talking about? She is in the person of Jessica Olubon. Please welcome to Step Out Youth Impact Zone, and you are live on T2I TV UK.
Thank you, Oscar, so much for that lovely introduction. Thank you. Yes, I'm so happy to be here and talk to everyone today.
Wow. And how has your day been like?
It's been okay. I've been studying today. So since coronavirus happened, we've had to do medical school online. We're still expected to go into the hospital for placement, but that starts in a couple of weeks' time. So right now we're just doing some studying online just to get ourselves prepared for what's ahead.
Wow. So it's still work in progress.
Yes.
Coronavirus hasn't really stopped anything, isn't it?
Yes.
Wow. Now let's go straight to business. Time has already been spent. And when did it dawn on you that you wanted to really go into medical school?
I think every medical student, when they first decide that medicine's for me, it's you have to be good at science. You know, you have to enjoy science. It was one of the lessons that I was excited to go to. I like learning about science. And from a personal standpoint, from an English mum and a Nigerian dad, I was born from IVF because my mum had problems with having children. So I knew firsthand I existed because of medical technology and medical professionals, and they wouldn't have the 4 children that they have today. And I wanted to do that for other people every day that I went into work. And I thought, what jobs are out there that I could combine the fact that I'm good at science, but also that I can improve people's quality of life, use it for good, essentially. And medicine was one of the perfect careers that has a really nice combination of that. So I became interested in medicine. And then as a child, like, I always loved a challenge as well. And medicine is undoubtedly difficult. It's a challenge. It's a challenge getting into medical school. It's a challenge completing medical school. And then when you're a doctor, every day is different. Patients are challenging. Your job is a challenge. And I really think that it pushes you to be the best person you can be. And I wanted a career that was a bit challenging, but that would also make me grow as a person and never stop growing. So medicine was definitely that.
Wow. Wow. But that really sounds interesting. But you see, when people hear that something is challenging, it really becomes them rather than really causing them to read it or to inspire them.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I 100% understand. I think that it can be really off-putting when something's quite difficult, but I think when you actually do achieve it, it feels so much better at the end. And I mean, I didn't get in first time, which we'll go into soon, but it just makes it so much worthwhile in the end. There's also other things as well. You have knowledge and you get to share that with other people every single day. You share it with patients, you share it with their family. And I love to teach and share my knowledge with others. So medicine really lets you teach people every single day about their health, about how to get better, about where they're going wrong. And that's another thing I really love about it. Lifelong learning and lifelong teaching.
Wow. Lifelong learning and lifelong teaching. Now, tell me about your journey to the medical school.
Yeah, so as I mentioned before, I was unsuccessful in my application to UK medical schools the first time round. So when I finished my A-levels, as I was applying for medicine, you don't have your A-level grades yet. So the first time round that I applied, I was very lost. I didn't realise how difficult it was. I didn't prepare well enough. You have to do exams before you get into medical school, which are admissions exams. They're kind of like IQ tests. I didn't revise for them. I thought that I could just go in and see how I do. Interviews, they wanted to know, why do you want to do medicine? What have you done to show that you want to do it? I didn't have the experience. I didn't know what to say. So I was unsuccessful, and I decided that I can either reapply again or choose another route entirely. I got 4 A's at A-level, and I decided I have the grades. I can still do this. I'm going to take a gap year and reapply again. So I got a job as a healthcare assistant, which is somebody who works very closely with the nurses to deliver care to people. So I was on an elderly care ward, and I would feed elderly patients who couldn't feed themselves. I would, help them go toilet, change them, wash them. I was thrown in the deep end completely and did things that an 18-year-old usually never does. And I worked 12-hour shifts, nights and days. I really understood what it was like to be a healthcare professional. All of the good parts are great, but the fact is it is difficult. It is emotionally demanding. It's physically demanding. And it just made me want to do it even more. A lot of the patients that I met were really happy with the way that I treated them. And I was the youngest employee to be awarded the Make a Difference Award, which was because I made such a positive contribution to this patient's care that they nominated me for this award. And I got like a special badge and like an extra certificate for my standard of care, which was really nice to receive. And it just solidified my decision to study medicine. I then went abroad. So I went to the Dominican Republic, which is a beautiful country in the Caribbean.
Yeah, honey, so you went for a gap year. So I will come to the gap year. But before I go to the gap year, I really want to ask this.
Yeah.
It means that it was because of lack of preparation that you did not pass for your entrance exam into the medical school, right?
Yeah.
Wow. So what are you going to tell people that really don't prepare for interviews? They don't prepare for exams. They don't prepare for anything. They can go there and really pass.
Fail to prepare to fail. Honestly, I think after that, I went into I've gone into the rest of my life thinking that even if it's something like, working at a coffee shop, working at a restaurant, if you want the job, go and be prepared. Know what you're talking about. Know what is expected of you. You will just look so much better, and you are more likely to be successful in what you want. So always prepare, no matter what. Always put in the effort.
Wow. So now from there, because you weren't being admitted into the medical school, you decided to go for a gap year. Now, what did you learn during that gap year that you think it has really helped you in life? And what are you going to tell others that are contemplating of going for a gap year?
Yeah, so a gap year is basically a year out after you've got you finished your education. So you have got the grades, you know you've got the qualifications. It's just about where you want to go in your life next. And I think what I learned from my gap year, as I was saying before, I learned what it was like to be a true healthcare professional, actually working in a hospital, working the different shifts, being with other colleagues, talking to them about how they found their job, what they were learning from it. And I learned determination and perseverance 100%. When I went to the Dominican Republic, I saw healthcare in a completely different setting. I worked in private, public, and community healthcare where people in these communities, they were called bateys, so they were sugar worker towns where they were hours away from the nearest hospital. And we set up clinics where we would talk to them, give them basic medications like what we would call paracetamol and antifungal creams. They couldn't even get those. So I saw a really big difference in healthcare on a global scale and thought, you know what, as a doctor, there's that fluidity where you can go wherever you want in the world and exert positive influence and change. And I really wanted to do that. So if you are considering taking a gap year and you know that you have a dream and it's for you, take that year out and work towards it. I would not advise you to do something just because it's easier, or let me just settle for something different, when you know in your heart you want something more for yourself. And a gap year, a year out of whatever you're doing in life, whether that's a year out from your job, a year out from your education, is worth it, because rejection is redirection.
Rejection is redirection. That is really powerful. I love that. Rejection is redirection. Wow, I'm going to keep that one.
Yeah, I live by it now. It's so good.
Wow, yeah, very powerful, very powerful. Now, your aim is to become a surgeon. Why a surgeon and not any other field in medicine?
I thought this was actually quite a hard question. I'm halfway through my medical degree and I'm still quite open to other specialties, that's for sure. But there's something about surgery that excites me. And I think women especially are put off surgery because we feel like, you know, we need to have a family. How can we be a doctor at the same time? How are we going to manage it all? But I think I love practicality. I love being hands-on. I think surgeons are pragmatic. They figure out the problem, kind of like Sherlock Holmes. They pick up the clues, they diagnose, and they know that they can practically intervene to solve it. And I like that the patients usually have a quick and successful recovery. I think that's really something. I love positive results. I like quick results. So I think that suits my personality. But also, like I said before, I like a challenge. And there is no doubt that when you're in the operating room, time is ticking, you've got to lead your team, you've also got to be emotionally resilient. You know, what if things go wrong? How do you inspire confidence in your patients? How do you go up to a patient and say, don't worry, I'm going to cut you open, but you're safe? I think that's something that I might get. I think I would take pride in doing. And I like the long-term monitoring of that patient after, because sometimes their life is completely changed around just from that one surgical procedure.
Can I say you like to live on the edge?
Yeah. I like to live on the edge as long as it's like not killing me, because it keeps life exciting and it honestly pushes you to the boundaries. Surgery is very competitive in the UK. I'm pretty sure that's the same globally. But when you go for things that you don't think you're going to get, or that seem completely out of your reach, you are pushed to the edge. You push yourself in ways that you never knew you could. You know, when you go to the gym, you want that ripped body, but you're thinking that's a bit out of my reach. But if you keep going, you'll realize that your body can start doing things you've never done before. And I think it's really good for your personal and professional development.
Because sometimes when it comes to surgery, it can be very, very challenging, isn't it? And sometimes, as you say, like if things are going on, things are wrong, like how do you correct it? How do you inspire those people around you? How do you challenge them that it can be done? When sometimes it can be a bit emotional as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think it's a path that, do we have a lot of women really taking that field?
In the UK, we do not have a lot of women surgeons, and I think this is replicated across the world, because I know for the US it's pretty similar. I think it's again, women are expected to prioritize family life, which there's no issue, but I really want to get out there that you can be a woman and a surgeon or a doctor and still have a family and really be there for that family. So we don't have a lot of women surgeons, and I think we should have more. Medicine in general is a double-edged sword. When you do well and you fix patients, you heal them, you help them with their recovery, it's amazing. But there will always be things that go wrong and patients that cannot be saved. And I think you have to definitely have some emotional resilience there and handle things in a way where you truly do feel guilt and you do feel sorry, but you also reflect on that in yourself. It's not just another patient. We keep moving. You need to feel grief yourself. You need to understand that you went wrong, you made a mistake, and try your hardest to strive for clinical excellence and not make those mistakes.
Wow. Now, you want to really enter also into leadership role in medicine in the near future. Now, what roles of leadership are you now into that you think it can prepare you for the bigger stage?
Yes, so as you mentioned in your lovely introduction, I used to be the president of African Caribbean Medical Society. Myself and my medical student peers started the society in 2018. It was just about 15 of us, and we thought, we don't see a lot of Black medical students, and how can we create more of a community and actually help one another and support one another? Because medical school is competitive, and I think it's African nature to be competitive as well. So it's double, and we wanted to just break those barriers and just say, we're here for each other. You need notes, I'll teach you. These are my notes, let's go through it together. You want to get into this position, I've been there, let me pull you up. It's kind of giving the ladder back down and encouraging other Black students, as Liddy, the previous guest mentioned, letting other students, especially those with underrepresented backgrounds, to join medicine and join the family. So I was the president of that society for a year. And what I did was I led other medical students, a group of medical students, in running events throughout the year. And one of my key goals was to bring awareness to health inequalities, which we'll talk about soon. But so that prepared me for leading a group of students, leading a group of other professionals. I'm currently the co-president of Obstetrics and Gynecology Society this year, which is women's health and childbirth, another specialty that I'm really interested in. It's a surgical specialty, so I'm the president of that this year, and again, focusing on health inequalities and really bringing to light where the disparities are and how we as healthcare professionals must stop them. And I think this will prepare me for the bigger stage, because anything in life is going to require some sort of leadership. You are the leader of T2ITV. You have skills that employers and other people will want. You can teach other people, and you can also pull yourself up into other positions because of your leadership skills. And I think these are key things that you need to be good at a job, to lead others, just communication, holding yourself accountable, empowering people to take their roles seriously. These are all things that you're going to need in pretty much every job or educational role you take in life. So yeah, I hope that prepares me for the bigger stage.
Wow. I can say from every facet of whatever you are saying, you love what you do.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, there are people that are doing certain things that they don't love it, but they are still in there. For example, some people have taken some courses that they don't like. Because of what is at stake for them, they just take it. You were given the opportunity to, you weren't taken for the first time, and you decided that, look, I will reapply the next year. Now, what I want to tell those people that are doing the things they don't really like, but they are forcing themselves to do it?
I understand that situations can be hard, and everyone will have, baggage and considerations that they have to take. But if you're young, especially, don't settle for things that are not what you want. If you're not married, if you don't have children, if you don't have all of these bigger considerations to take into account, you pretty much have complete autonomy over your life. And I think you should mold that life into what you truly want. I am all for finishing what you started, but if you truly know in your heart that you hate it, you're not enjoying it, you don't see its value, you don't take pride in it, let it go, end it, finish it. It's a loss at the end of the day, because if you force it and keep it going, it won't be to the best quality it can be, and you won't get what you need to get out of it. I think people take, for example, a leadership course or some random course that they've gone into with a half heart, and they will finish it with a half-hearted score, or even a good score, but they don't get anything from it. They can't talk about it at an interview. They don't want to put it on their CV. It was just a waste of time. Don't waste that time. Life is short. Definitely look at what you want from your life. Write it down if it helps, and go for it. Do not waste your time.
Wow. To our main topic, what is health inequalities?
Okay, so health inequalities, I wrote some notes on them as well, but health inequalities are essentially avoidable, unfair, and systematic disparities in health between different groups of people. So there are different types of disparities. I mainly focus on racial and ethnic ones, but there's also, you know, monetary ones. Your income determines what healthcare you have. There's gender ones. Sometimes in different departments, women get better care than men, and vice versa. So it's about, they're avoidable, they are avoidable, and they're unfair. And it's about working towards finding out, number one, the underlying cause for them and how we can reduce them.
Wow. So you talked about unfair, like, and it's systematic. So is that conscious or unconscious?
This is a good question, because systematic kind of implies that it's unconscious, it's happening and people don't realize it. But what systematic racism and all of this sort of stuff is that it's ingrained into society. People tend to realize it's there, but blissfully ignore it and carry on with life and do things that they don't realize have a lasting impact on patients, on people, because they are not of that color or they're not of that gender.
Wow. Because I was thinking that if it is systematic, and it means that if it's systematic, it also means that it happens all the time, isn't it? And it doesn't cross the minds of people that something needs to be done about it in a different way.
Exactly.
And has it really got to that stage where it has become routine that we cannot easily change? And I think these things are something that we really need to discuss, isn't it? And find alternative ways of really finding solution, isn't it?
Yes, 100%. It's horrible to think that some of the ways that some of the practices in place and the ways that people behave are routine, but that's why it's so important to have discussions, to raise awareness, to say, you know, have you ever thought this and done this? Well, actually, it's offensive, or actually, it's dangerous.
Wow. Now, so how has this health inequalities, how has it really impacted the Black community?
Yeah, so in the UK, Black communities are disproportionately affected by certain conditions and the way they're treated than others. So I have a few statistics that are, bear in mind, UK specific, but I'm happy to share any sources and stuff if people want to read more. But for example, mental health. Black minority ethnic groups are known to have higher prevalence of psychotic disorders, and they're overrepresented in prisons and forensic psychiatric institutions. It's also a very known statistic in the UK that Black men are much higher than white men to be diagnosed with a psychotic disorder and be detained under the Mental Health Act for it. So when you are detained under the Mental Health Act, you are actually kept in the hospital against your will, because they have deemed you mentally, you don't have the mental capacity to be outside. And this happens to Black men so much more than white men. And it begs the question, do people see Black men as more aggressive and just more dangerous? They can't be let out into society. They don't have a chance at reform. Is it that, you know, Black men present in a different way? Why don't clinicians or healthcare professionals know about this if they're taught correctly? And these are things that need to be talked about. Another one is Black women in childbirth, Black women are actually 5 times more likely to die during childbirth than a white woman. And that's a real statistic from the UK, 2015 to 2017. And that is shocking and unacceptable. And the last two that I will talk about is breast cancer and COVID, because COVID's obviously the big thing at the moment. But breast cancer outcomes is what I focused my conference on. Black women and breast cancer. In comparison with white women, Black women have higher rates of breast cancer and they have a poorer chance of survival. Again, is this because they're presenting late? Is this because Black women don't have awareness? Or is this because when they come in, they're not taken seriously? And that's why I ran that conference, to kind of raise awareness in Black women in particular in London and say, go for your screening. Did you know this? A lot of Black women didn't even know that it was they had higher rates of breast cancer. They had no clue. It's important that we educate one another for this. And for COVID-19, Black men were 4 times more likely to die than any other person during the COVID-19 pandemic in the UK. I think it's a worldwide known fact that men were suffering more than women. We still don't know why exactly that is. But Black men in particular, again, begs the question, why Black men? Let's not ignore the Black. We need to talk about these things. We need to find out what's going on. Are they not coming in? Or are they coming in but not getting treated properly? And that's what we're trying to weigh up.
Wow. This is kind of it's kind of revealing. And I think I've got a comment here. Somebody says rejection is redirection. Powerful. That is a t-shirt right there. So I think you need to make a t-shirt.
I will buy it.
Yes, that's really powerful. Yes. And so you mentioned, like, for example, the COVID one. Why Black people? Because COVID should be, I don't know anybody that's got a genotype that can fight COVID. So why is the statistics just skewed to Black people? And is there any? I don't get it. Why? Do you have an explanation?
So, although these I've deliberately drawn the statistics for Black people, but it's in the UK it's similar for Asian and other minority ethnic groups that we have here. But again, I've researched really deeply into this, and you do not find the same inequalities in Africa or say Nigeria, where the majority of the population is Black. They don't have the same inequalities as what we have in England. Is that because majority of our population is white and they are exerting systematic racism without knowing it to the people in our society? Because the same UK and US are very similar with their inequalities. UK and Nigeria, no. So that's why we kind of look at, is it they're not coming? Is it that they don't have the education, don't have the awareness, or is it that something's going wrong in the hospital? And more often than not, it's a combination of both. I'm very, very passionate about educating Black people, regardless of what it is, especially when it comes to their health. I always go to my dad and my mum, don't make sure that you're not eating too many biscuits, diabetes, all of this. But I think that Black people are quite educated about their health and they do take it quite seriously. So what about those people who are very aware, go into the hospital and still don't get the same good outcomes as a white person? We need to be talking about that and we need to be dismantling that. And that's why I'm so passionate about getting Black students to join medicine, become doctors, to actually relate to the patients in front of them, to make them feel comfortable. Because a lot of the time, the Black patients that I've spoken to have said, I've just been dismissed, or that white person just didn't get it. I have sickle cell and they thought that I was lying about the pain. Sickle cell is a Black disease. I've heard people have heard white doctors say, oh, they're just overreacting or they just want the drugs. You don't experience the disease. They are. And I think when you're categorizing patients like that, it's dangerous and it's got to stop.
Because you made mention of the comparing Black people in this country, for example, Nigerians to Nigerians back in Africa. And I think that was a very good point that you made. Because why is this the same thing not happening to them?
Yeah.
I think you've got a very good point in there. And I even related it to Ghana.
Yeah.
Black men over there or they are black people anyway, they are not dying. Like,
Yes.
so why in the UK?
COVID-19 was a perfect example of, I was so impressed with how some of the African countries responded. I don't think that it's been as chaotic as the US and the UK. I will happily say that. And you do not get the same patterns. And I think it's time that England, the UK, the US stopped beating around the bush and said it. It is systematic racism that is playing a large role in some of these inequalities, which is why I think we need to be making sure people are competent enough to understand different cultures and different backgrounds and to treat them without bias and without racism.
What role do you want to play in this to really solve this issue?
I've kind of, navigated, maneuvered myself into being a medical student. So already I get to be at the forefront of medicine and delivering that care. And within as I'm in a privileged position to be a medical student, I'm going to continue to do everything in my power to raise awareness and be an advocate for Black people and Black voices. I think that we need more of us in the profession. We need to be speaking up for our patients and those who look like us, and actually representing the diverse population that we have in the UK and beyond. So for my breast cancer conference event, we had over 100 attendees and £5,000 in sponsorship. We were so overwhelmed by the amount of women that came and how much they learned, and they really wanted this to be an annual event. So this year and in the years to come, I'm hopefully going to make that an annual event. We're going to do it virtually this year, so I will happily send anyone a link who would like to come and just speak about myths about breast cancer in Black women, how we have talks from survivors of breast cancer from all over the world, and some international speakers, doctors again from all over the world. So yeah, I hope to do a lot of awareness events, a lot of getting my university to give us money and to promote these health events for Black people in particular. I think we need to stop worrying about saying the word Black as well. A lot of the time, the UK or the US dress it up, Black and minority ethnic, or Black, Asian and minority ethnic, but we're very separate groups. And I think it's important to understand the nuanced approach we must take to each one.
Wow, there is work to be done, isn't it?
Work to be done.
And how we need more people on board. And I think if you are watching us and you've got some resources to support this agenda, I think you should really contact Jess to really support this agenda, because I think this is something that really it needs support. And if you've got a small business, if you've got some resources to support it, I think you should be able to really do that. Now, do you think there is hope for Black people, especially in the UK and across the globe, considering Black Lives Matter and a whole lot that is happening, Black people dying in the US? I think now we have got the slavery and the colonization in the professional form. But at the end, they are also killing us.
I hope nobody takes the statistics that I gave as, Black people are doomed, because there was a time where I was honestly thinking this. I saw the tragic murder of George Floyd. Then it was COVID. Then it was protests. Then it was it's just ongoing. It's like Black people can't catch a break. But what I will say is this: we have continued to strive for excellence, and like what the whole point of this program is, against all odds, we continue to strive. And I think I will continue to do the work. And we've, for once, especially during the George Floyd situation, Black people's voices were heard and white people were listening. They had to be accountable. There was work being done. Conversations were being had. At my medical school, we have a reverse mentoring thing going on where Black students teach professionals what is our culture, what are our backgrounds, how would our parents like to be treated, how would people in our community like to be treated, what are the faiths that people in our communities have. We have a lot of Christians and we also have Muslims. How do you approach them? How do you take that into account when you're treating them? People are not just diseases, they're people. And I think that's what you can really forget when you're a medical professional. So I know that that's something that we're doing now as well. And I went to 10 Downing Street before, and hopefully they'll see me banging on the door in the future again, just constantly raising awareness and hopefully bringing this to government and implementing real change. For Black people across the world, I think just excel in everything that you do. We have to work twice as harder to get into the same positions, but once you're there, let the ladder down and help all of your peers come on board. There needs to be more of us being represented at high levels, executive boards, leadership positions, really making the chess moves instead of, you know, not helping one another or being the only Black person in the room and feeling isolated and feeling like your voice isn't heard. Get more people on board, get them in, and don't feel ashamed in doing so. But excel in everything you do, work hard, because it will pay off, and navigate and maneuver yourself into positions where you can influence change and use your power for good.
Now, what are you going to tell young people, especially Black people? What should they do to really take us out of this struggle? What role do you want them to play?
One thing that I remember speaking to a friend about this, and it's quite a difficult one to talk about, because it's like you can't be the excellent Black person and hope that that's going to be okay. What we need to do is we need to truly build one another up. I'm very, very for Black supporting Black. Buy from Black businesses. Promote Black organizations like you're doing with T2I. Make it so that we support one another. We're our own self-sufficient little ecosystem. Although it seems like, oh, you know, it's a white man's world, white people are in authority. If we maneuver ourselves into those places, over time, inevitably, we will be the people in power. We will be able to influence change. And I think we definitely need to be more self-sufficient and help one another. We need to break down competitive barriers. My daughter's doing this, and my cousin's doing this, and my uncle's doing this, and yours isn't. We need to stop that. We need to be a collective. And I think that's something that we're missing a little bit. And just encouraging and inspiring. That's why I love channels like this, where we're putting it on a broader level, where you are happy. Like, I'm happy for anyone to get in contact with me after this and to build networks across global boundaries. I think we really need to be our own self-sufficient system.
That's quite interesting. I think I've got a comment from here from Alb A, and he says, very important conversation. What will you say to a Black person who isn't a medic but does want to help? What can we do on a social and individual level?
Is this help in terms of the inequalities that I was speaking about, I'm assuming?
Yeah, probably, or maybe in general. I'm not sure. But
you definitely don't need to be a medic to help. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you are in a position to make change. Whether that's, you know, you're a waitress, you're a teacher, you have the chance to make that job the best it can be, to influence other people. And I think on a social and individual level, like I mentioned before, support Black businesses, buy from Black brands if you can. Be proud of your country, and try and support your local community in any way that you can. It's such a hard question because it's quite open-ended. But
yes, exactly.
But also, like, even just coming on to a channel like this, getting inspiration, thinking of what I can do next, that's a start.
Yeah, but in terms of maybe if they want to help with the inequalities in terms of what you are doing, then what are you going to do?
Yeah, so get in contact with me. I'm more than happy for you to promote any of the events that I'm doing. I mean, COVID has been a blessing and a curse, because it means that we can have international people tune in, hop on Zoom, and get involved in any of our events, and they will be free, so they will be accessible to everyone. So please, like, get in touch, and I will share any links, and hopefully you can promote our events to, you know, your aunties, any women who might be interested in, like, breast cancer, maternal mortality, and any of the other events that we have as well. Everyone's should be involved. Yeah.
Yes, I agree with you that COVID has been a blessing and a curse, isn't it?
Yeah.
And, because of COVID, I am sitting here in my corner in London. You are sitting in your corner, and we are having a very good conversation.
Yeah.
You don't need to go to any studio, isn't it?
So true, so true.
Yes, and it's made life easier. And people now have really got. I was telling somebody that now nobody will have to travel wherever to go to BBC for interview or to CNN for interview. No, it's gone. Nobody will buy ticket for you just for 30 minutes interview. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah. So now online is the order of the day, and that's why we are maximizing it. And if you are watching us for the first time, we want you to share some of this conversation. Go to our Facebook page, our YouTube page, T2I TV UK, and just like and subscribe. And we want to get a lot of young people to get the opportunity to watch this.
Yeah.
And it can only happen when you send this to your friends and family for them to like and subscribe to our page, because that is the only way we can grow. We have left the discussion of Black people in the hands of people who are not Black for far too long. It is time we take the responsibility and discuss our own issues and find lasting solutions to them. And I'm just happy to interview somebody like Jess, who is trying to really take bold steps to address issues that no Black man probably wants to solve. And this is where we all have to come in and support. It's not only about interviewing her, but it's also about trying to support her in terms of resources. In terms, sometimes people think resources is even about money. Bringing your ideas, trying to connect her to the right people. You know, probably she has to even go to Washington to tell Donald Trump that, look, this thing needs to be addressed, you know. 100%. Street, you know.
Yeah. But honestly, that's why I love this channel, because it's using online, like technology's booming. This is an amazing way to stay in contact and, again, transgress those global boundaries and inspire people. For example, now that we all know each other, if anybody listening, if you wanted to do go to medical school in the UK, I'm so happy for you to contact me and help you through that. If you want to find out more about inequalities in the UK, I'm so happy to share reading resources and my events and anything that you want to get involved with. I think it's really important we signpost opportunities, we do more shows like this, and we really encourage one another to be our best. And like you said, take matters into our own hands.
Yes, exactly. And also, if you need Jess' number, when you go to T2I TV UK page, you will see a WhatsApp link over there. Just click on the WhatsApp. You can send me a message and I can give you Jess' number. Now, you know, when the conversation is very good, time really run fast. We are always getting to an hour mark. But before we go, I just want to mention our sponsors. This program is sponsored by Train to Inspire Consultancy, and that is your business training and consulting firm. That is for all your business training. Contact Train to Inspire Consultancy and they will sort you out. If you want to know more about them, go to www.traintoinspire.com. The 2 is as in number 2. Also, ALS Global Shipping and Logistics. That is your trusted import and export company based in Accra. ALS says if you are stranded at the port, call them and they will sort you out. Also, ZPay Ghana Limited, your remittance and mobile money company based in Ghana. They just launched their ZPay mobile money USSD code, which is *270#. And that is, they say, register just on your phone by dialing *270#, and you'll be part of the Freedom family. Then Rules for Sure, your car leasing for every credit. Rules for Sure says it doesn't matter your credit score. You can walk out of the garage with the car of your choice. When you call them, just quote T2I 2020 and you are going to get a very good deal. Now, they have got a good package for everyone, but especially key workers in the UK. So just in the future, if you need a brand new car, just go for Rules for Sure and they will sort you out. Yes. And if you want to contact any of them, their numbers are scrolling on the screen. Just take them and contact them. When you contact them, tell them you got it from T2I TV UK and quote T2I 2020. And also, if you want to sponsor this program, you are more than happy to sponsor any of our programs. or if you want to advertise, we are more than happy to really contact us. Or if you want to support us in one way or the other, whether being resources or whatever you think you can use to support. Because what we want to do is that after this program, we want to boost this so that a lot of people can see this. We want to get more resources because we want to impact the young people on the African continent and those in diaspora. And because before we can do this, we need enough resources. As I'm speaking to you now, everything is being done by myself now. Why? Because I believe in the young people on the continent and in diaspora. But if you are watching us and you think, look, what you are doing is great, and I want to support you, you are more than happy to support us. And your support should not only be in money. It should be in connecting us to the right people. It should be about giving us more ideas. It should be about bringing your ideas on board to really grow this platform. We are more than happy to really listen to you. So there is a lot that we can do. We want this to really grow, and for it to grow, for a lot of people to have access to it, you have got your role to play. Share this and let another person know. Now, Jess, it's been wonderful having you, and trust me, I really enjoyed the conversation.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. What is your last word to anyone that is watching us and every Black person, especially young people?
Well, I'll do this might be another T-shirt, but I live by the motto: dreams don't work unless you do. And I think put in the work, figure out what your dreams are, work towards them, get them, and use them to help others to do the same. It's a never-ending cycle. It's letting the ladder down, and every rejection is a redirection. Just honestly continue to excel. And if you find yourself struggling and you see another person excelling, ask them for help. Ask them for help and support Black.
Wow. That is really powerful. That two quotes, yeah? The one about dreams and the one about direction. I'm going to frame it. Wow. It's been wonderful having you, and trust me, I think this is not going to be your last time coming on the show. At any point in time when you see that things have really grown in what you are doing, you can really come back. Or sometimes if you find any topic that you think that, look, Oscar, we can discuss it, just give me, inbox me, and we can really think about having another session. Because I enjoy this one, and I know that when you come back anytime, we are going to enjoy it as well.
100%. And if I find any, I will encourage Kings to give money. They need to sponsor. And I will encourage any other organizations to get involved as well. We definitely need to be going across those global boundaries, and the diaspora definitely needs to be giving back to our home countries as well.
Wow. Thank you very much. And if you are watching us for the first time, as I said earlier on, please like our page on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are also on Twitter and Instagram as well. So let's build this family together. And also, if you are watching us for the first time, we are here every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. On Thursday, I've got a senior lecturer from the Gambia who is coming to talk about the political dispensation in Africa. How is our politics going and how is it impacting our lives? On Saturday, I have got a powerful musician from Ghana, Ochiame Kwame, and he is coming to talk about the need to invest in Black products and services. And I think that is going to be a powerful discussion, because that has been his preaching over the years in terms of investing in our own. And you can't miss that discussion on Saturday. It's going to be an amazing discussion. And this is what we do every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays. We bring you powerful discussion that can help to shape your vision, that can give you knowledge, and that can skill your path on a direction where you can believe again and start pursuing your vision. And this is what we want to do. We have already started getting testimonies that young people that follow us say, look, they have learned a lot, and because of that, they have started ABC. And this is what we want to hear. So it's been amazing, and I've enjoyed everything. See you on Thursday, Saturday to just be around 7 p.m. GMT. And if you are in the UK, it's going to be 8 p.m. And trust me, in the United States, it's going to be 3 p.m. Eastern time. So don't miss it, because anytime you miss any of our discussion, you'll miss out. So Jessica, thanks once again, and God richly bless you.
Thank you. You too. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, and for everyone, God richly bless you. See you guys on Thursday.